Why don't monkeys turn into humans? It's because they're stuck in their monkey equilibrium, an evolutionary design well protected and taken care of by the comfort of the tropical rainforests where most of them live. We're the descendants of a particular branch of monkeys that lived in North African forests that disappeared when India hit Asia, forcing them to start living on the ground. They lost their tail, stood upright, and became what we know today as the great apes. Since then, there were two more equilibrium changes that created us. This entire time, the climate on Earth was very warm, no ice caps, and these apes could have migrated anywhere in the world, especially when the Mediterranean Sea was almost completely dry 5.5 million years ago, fully connecting Africa with Eurasia. When the glacial cycles arrived, these primates were forced to constantly migrate, and so they became bipedal. The ones that resisted by staying behind the migrating groups, facing the cold of the advancing glacials, trying to shelter and sustain themselves. They're the ones that moved into homes. An enclosed social paradigm that made our neocortex grow, fused two of our chromosomes, and transformed our brain into a recursive way of thinking known as the second-order theory of mind, effectively separating us from animals. They possess the first-order theory of mind, understanding what the other animal is thinking, and they can also evoke emotions and empathy. But a human can know that another human can understand someone else's thoughts. This way of thinking requires complex communication skills and evokes things like imagination, beliefs, and sarcasm. We don't know when this transformation happened, but it's before the oldest found Neanderthal, at 430,000 years ago, and 2.6 million years ago when the glacial cycles arrived. The reason why we think people used to live in caves is because most of the remains are found in caves, the very place that will survive any cataclysm. Everything else gets destroyed and is very hard to discover. A 476,000-year-old beam construction has, however, been found in Africa that confirms the primates in our equilibrium could have been living in homes for the past 500,000 years. During this time period, there would have been dozens of ancient advanced civilizations similar to ours, living in different pockets of time, separated by mega cataclysms, and most likely completely unaware of each other's existence. That's why it wouldn't be surprising if the pyramids were built by a civilization that lived before the last mega cataclysm, prior to 15,000 years ago. Those people were just as smart as we are today, if not smarter. All of our cousins had bigger brains than us. But if we came across a hominid from the previous equilibrium, like a Homo erectus, even though they resembled us and could walk like us, we would not be able to communicate with them, and they would come across to us as animals. We're the only hominid that survived the last cataclysm. All the primates from the last two equilibriums, but us, are gone. That is why we seem so removed from the animal kingdom. All human beings are actually very similar. Two monkeys from two different parts of the same forest are more genetically different than any two human beings on this planet. We are all one and the same people with small variations. Though we are very smart, a recursive way of thinking does make us quite gullible. Because we have been living in this confined, fully protected environment for so long, social and moral interactions are means of our survival. We all know how to build a home, and we all understand right from wrong. It's what makes us human.